on April 2015, I decided to do Iron Man. So, the movie Iron Man is a movie by Marvel Cinematic Universe. It was made it was made in 2008. I didn't see it for a little while after it came out, but I wanted to. There was one scene that needed to be skipped, so I decided later on that I would skip the scene, and I did. And so, yeah. That's probably really just choppy sounding, how I said that. But, there was one scene that needs skipped. But, yeah. The reason I did Iron Man was because, I was doing other Marvel Cinematic Universe films, but I hadn't done Iron Man yet, and he was one of the biggest characters in Marvel Cinematic Universe. So, it was like, yeah, I probably should do him, just because it would seem better, I guess, to do Iron Man. So, I decided to do Iron Man. Now, Iron Man's a movie about some guy who ends up being captured by some military people. And so, he's given this one thing that prepares him that's like he's hooked up to a nuclear thing, I guess. And so, with the nuclear thing attached to him, he decides to create his own suit. So, he could go on and fight bad guys. Well, it's originally to escape, but then, fighting bad guys becomes what he does. So he ends up escaping, ends up in a lot of danger, I guess, and yeah. So then, well, let's see. So this is the first film in Marvel Cinematic Universe, so after all that's going on in Marvel Cinematic Universe, going to watch this film again is like, whoa, they look at what they didn't really realize was going to happen later on, think forward to Iron Man 3. Okay, yeah, that's Iron Man also, but the Avengers, he never knew he was going to become an Avenger. He just did it to escape, and so he escaped. Or did he? So yeah, he becomes a superhero. So yeah, the color scheme here, well, actually the design also, not just the color scheme. This box right here was meant to look like sort of Iron Man metal. I don't know if I accomplished my plan. It went over the top of the calendar, so I ended up putting that there to make it seem better. So yeah, I wanted it to look sort of techy, I guess. I don't know. So this thing right here was supposed to represent his suit, I guess. And then this background was a dark blue, because that's what the movie case showed. And so I was like, whatever. So yeah, you'll see that dark blue right here. And then, yeah. They're both fading to the center. These boxes down here are red and yellow. So yeah. That's for the color of Iron Man's suit is red and yellow, so obviously here I wanted to make it specifically for his suit. And so there was a red and yellow involved, and two different shades of red and yellow. So yeah, it's actually pretty interesting. The text font, although I didn't color any fancy color this time, I just used black. I chose the text font Impact. Impact just looked a little technological, I guess, and so I did it here too. So yeah. Let's see. Here, that's not the good picture to start on. Here we have a picture of Iron Man and Tony Stark. They're the same guy, I think, but they are like, just in a background, because that looks cool for them. Near the beginning of the movie, if I can get over here. Yeah, slow, my computer's slow. So, yeah, here is Iron Man, or Tony Stark, getting ready to, show off his weapon testing. And, yeah, it's gonna be for a great audience, I believe. And then, here is, later on, here is Iron Man escaping he's like blasting. Well, he's not escaping. He's already escaped. He's going back to stop these bad guys. And so, yeah. And then he's like, what a blast. That's what he says in a behind-the-scenes thing for it. Here is Iron Man in the street facing off against his foe. They are like fighting each other. This bad guy wants to fight and destroy the city. Iron Man's like, oh, that's mean. Or something. I don't know where this takes place, but I'm guessing since Iron Man lives in California, it's filmed in, or happened in California. I'm not sure where. But yeah. And then here we have a picture of Iron Man going through the place that he's escaping with all the weapons, and he's escaping, and this is his first escape. He is blasting his way out, destroying all the weapons that were stolen from his company, I guess, Stark Industries, which is not going to be his main focus later on, but, you know, more of an awesome guy, I guess, later on. Even going on to Civil Wars someday, which was going to be coming out a year later. But then a more important film right at this point, The Age of Ultron, was coming out next month. That's partly why I did this, to prepare for that, because even though I only had, yeah, this is a picture of Iron Man hanging above a reactor, I guess, and yeah. But even though I had already done, even though I didn't necessarily require myself to get through all the main characters' films, but only one to get to an Avengers film, one of that character's preceding films or whatever, to do a search in Avengers film, I wanted to, like, you know, just do it so it would work out better when the next one came out, so, you know, just so it would be more better, I guess. Here is Iron Man flying through the world, and so, yeah, and then, yeah, I'm sorry this is taking so long. Here is a very good picture, I think, of Iron Man and the bad guy. He's hiding behind a wall. It's a good piece of cinematography, I guess. So yeah. Just hold this. And here is Iron Man and his buddy. They're, like, working on, Iron Man's whatever. And let's see if I missed any pictures from whole page view. Yeah. Here I missed this picture. And then here is an army plane shooting at Iron Man because they think he's a weapon and not a guy in a suit. So yeah. Here we have, for last month's theme, Avatar: The Last Airbender, Book 1, Water. I didn't have enough room to put water, I guess, so I just put Book 1. But yeah, hopefully you get the point that this was Avatar: The Last Airbender, Book 1, and so you might want to check that out. And wow, this is really slow today. I wonder if my voice will even come through properly. And April Fool's Day. That's a holiday where you do April Fools. And here is Good Friday. Not Bad Friday. Good Friday. And here is Easter Eve. I actually had to work this day, so I couldn't help. This was a year. I worked this day and couldn't help with the... Oh, wrong button. I couldn't help with the church parade. No, wait. No, not this day. I worked... Wait, no. No, I didn't work on Easter. It was the day before. I couldn't help with the Easter parade, I think, or anything with the Easter... No, not that day. It was I couldn't help with the Easter egg hunt with the church. Thinking 4th of July, I guess. And that was the year before, I think. Here is Christ is Risen, aka Easter. So yeah, that's a holiday, and there's stuff happening. This calendar might break records just because it's taking so long to scroll through these dates. Sorry about that. It says I'm on 9 now, but I'm on 10. So you won't believe how long it's gonna take to do this. Is there anything? Nope. So I'll just go on from here and try to find out what to do, because this is taking a while. But you know, it'll work out eventually, hopefully. So hopefully I don't have to re-record this, because if you're hearing this right now, me saying that, I didn't have to re-record it. So yeah. It's interesting how you like the, part of it, whatever. And here is Earth Day. So yeah. It's interesting the kind of switch it does when you switch from one to the other, I guess. Like, there's a delay, I guess. But this is longer than normal. So yeah, you'll definitely notice that. I go to see Magic Treehouse play. This was a play that my sister was assistant director for, and so yeah, it was good for her. And then here is the last day of school. So, oh wow, already? I was getting off of school for the summer, and you know, yeah, so it was the last day of school. Then we wouldn't have to do any more. We were free from school. Unfortunately, I got a C- in directing, but I think I know why, and I'm trying to fix it. And then here is Die Day, which means be super tired. Like, you know, after all that, I was gonna, like, you know, just fall asleep. Which I didn't sleep all day, unfortunately. And then I finished this calendar on this day. Wow. So yeah, this is the date I would finish this calendar, I think. So yeah. And so I finished that really early. So this was now the beginning of summer. And so yeah. And you'll see soon what this summer holds. So next month's theme is Delete Object. And that will be Sonic Adventure. Now, I'm not going to say BAM there, but yeah. If you want to come back for Sonic Adventure, that'll be great. Bye.